I am in my transparent era.
Carlos King has done it again, but this time it's not a bombshell fans were ready for. During a recent live session, Carlos dropped some seriously bad news that sent shockwaves through the entire Love and Marriage Huntsville cast and the fan community. His tone wasn't his usual confident, playful self. It was heavy, emotional, almost like he'd been carrying a weight for months and finally couldn't hold it in anymore. Viewers could feel the energy shift instantly. Something about the way he spoke told everyone that what's coming next could change everything we thought we knew about the show.
Work harder to get what we deserve, right? And I was such a huge part of that, along with other producers and everybody else involved too. But I moved to Atlanta to do that show because I was invested in making it #1.
He didn't tease a new season or a reunion or a spin-off. No. Carlos looked straight into the camera, took a deep breath, and said words that left fans stunned. It's time for a real conversation about where this show is heading. And that's when the silence hit. You could almost feel thousands of fans sitting behind their screens, holding their breath, waiting for him to say it. Because deep down, everyone knew something had been off lately. But nobody expected what Carlos said next.
I wanted to make sure that no one is misled by this information. First of all, my name is Maurice Jefferson Scott, Sr. And if you're gonna do research on a Maurice Scott, make sure that you're researching the right person.
Before we get into the shocking news, we have to go back to how Love and Marriage Huntsville became one of the most explosive, emotional, and talked about reality shows on TV. When Carlos King created the show, he wasn't just making entertainment. He was creating a mirror, one that reflected love, ambition, betrayal, and the complicated realities of Black excellence. The show started with 3 power couples, Melody and Martell Holt, Marsaw and Letitia Scott, and Maurice and Kimmy Scott. They were beautiful, successful, and full of dreams. But beneath the surface of business meetings and luxury homes was something deeper: tension.
Keep it all the way real on this podcast today because I am pissed. Robin admitting that she hid her story from the world on the show that pays you is a slap in the face to everyone involved, including the audience. And the fact that you have the audacity to go on your podcast to reveal this. We spent this entire half-assed season with these made-up storylines about Chris Bassett. And yes, I'm gonna say made up because I allegedly was told that a few of the housewives had a meeting before filming about what the storyline was going to be, and that this Chris Bassett stuff was part of that conversation. I've always said there was something off about this season, and now I know what it is. None of y'all are living your real life.
Carlos's idea was simple but genius: showcase strong couples building empires together. But reality TV has a way of peeling back layers, and soon the cracks began to show. Melody and Martell's marriage, once seen as the model of power and perfection, began falling apart. Cheating rumors, late-night phone calls, and tears that couldn't be hidden even behind the brightest smiles. Fans didn't just watch, they felt every heartbreak, every argument, every betrayal. Carlos captured all of it, the real, raw, and sometimes uncomfortable truth. That's what made people trust him. That's why fans followed him, not just as a producer, but as a storyteller who gave us something deeper than gossip. He gave us humanity.
I have to say is what you said about me. I am frugal. But for me to spend a Q coin, fly 9 hours to go out the country, I'm there because I love you.
But as the show grew, so did the chaos. The bigger the success, the louder the drama. Suddenly, friendships turned into feuds, marriages turned into battles, and even the production team started feeling the strain. It wasn't just a TV show anymore, it was a storm. And through it all, Carlos was the calm in the middle, or so it seemed. Fast forward to now, when Carlos King sat in front of that camera, the same man who built this empire from scratch, and said he had bad news, the kind of news that made even the strongest fans start panicking. He began by saying, "I love this cast. I love what we built. But I have to be honest, this hasn't been easy, and it's not the same anymore." That sentence alone shook everyone, because for months, people had been speculating that Love and Marriage Huntsville was falling apart behind the scenes. Rumors of cast walkouts, off-camera fights, and emotional breakdowns had been circulating, but hearing Carlos admit something was wrong made it real. He didn't drop names, but his words painted a clear picture. He said some cast members had stopped communicating altogether. Filming had become a battle instead of a collaboration. And most of all, he said the energy of the show, the thing that made fans connect, was no longer healthy. Then he paused, looked down, and when he lifted his head again, his eyes looked tired. "There comes a time when you have to choose peace over production," he said softly. And just like that, fans knew something major was about to change. People in the comments exploded with questions. Was the show being canceled? Was someone leaving? Was Carlos himself walking away? But instead of giving a clear yes or no, Carlos went deeper. He explained that the show had reached a crossroads. He said the vision he had, one built on unity and inspiration, was slowly being drowned out by what he called performative pain. He said, "We've gotten to a point where people are hurting more than they're healing. That was never the goal." It was a heartbreaking admission from a man who prided himself on creating television that mattered. He talked about how the constant fighting between cast members, especially Melody and Martell, had taken a toll not just on them, but on the entire group. He said filming felt like walking into a war zone. And then came the part that broke fans' hearts even more. Carlos said he'd had private conversations with several cast members who admitted they were emotionally exhausted. Some were ready to quit. Others said they couldn't even watch the show anymore because it reminded them of too much pain. What nobody expected was the next thing he said. "If we can't bring back the love, there may be no marriage left to show." It was poetic, painful, and possibly the most honest thing he's ever said. Behind the scenes, sources say the situation has been building for months. Melody's ongoing feud with Martell hasn't just divided fans, it's split the entire cast. Even group events meant for peace have turned into explosive confrontations. Producers have had to step in to separate people mid-scene. Maurice and Kimmy have tried to be the voice of reason, but even they've reached their limit. Kimmy, who's been through her own personal battles, reportedly told production she was tired of being caught in the middle. Marçal and Letitia, once seen as solid, have also faced their share of whispers about secrets, rumors, and tension that never seems to end. Carlos hinted that these cracks were part of why he made this emotional announcement. He said, "When the foundation starts to crumble, you can't keep painting over it. You have to rebuild or walk away." That one line hit fans hard because it sounded less like a producer giving a statement and more like a man saying goodbye. But here's the twist. Carlos didn't say he was canceling the show. He said he was re-evaluating everything. That could mean a total reboot, maybe new cast members, maybe a pause between seasons, or maybe the end of an era. He hinted that the network and production team were in deep talks about what comes next. Some fans believe he's planning to rebuild the Love and Marriage brand, maybe with a new city or a new group entirely. Others think he might step back as executive producer and let someone else take over the Huntsville franchise. But one thing is clear, the cast is in shock. After the live session ended, fans noticed that several Love and Marriage Huntsville stars started posting cryptic messages. Melody shared a quote about letting go of what no longer serves your peace. Martell posted a story saying, "Growth requires endings," and Kimmy simply wrote, "Sometimes silence is the loudest answer." It's like everyone was reacting in real time, trying to process what Carlos had just dropped. Insiders say production was blindsided too. Some crew members reportedly found out about Carlos's comments the same time the public did. And while a few are quietly relieved, others fear this might be the end of their work family. The emotional fallout has been massive. Fans are torn between heartbreak and understanding. Many say they respect Carlos for putting mental health first, while others beg him not to give up on the show. Comments flooded social media like a wave of collective grief. One fan wrote, "This show helped me get through my divorce. Seeing their strength made me feel less alone. Please don't end it like this." Another said, "I'd rather see them take a break and come back healthy than watch them destroy each other for ratings." That's the kind of emotional connection Love and Marriage Huntsville built over the years. It wasn't just reality TV. It was real people living through real pain and somehow still standing. But now, even the strongest seem to be breaking. Carlos ended his announcement with one last line that left everyone speechless. "Sometimes the greatest love story is the one where you walk away to save yourself." That sentence echoed across the internet. Some fans believe it was his indirect way of saying he's stepping away from LAMH completely. Others think it was a message to the cast, a plea for them to find peace before there's nothing left to film. If this truly is the end, it's more than just the end of a show. It's the end of a legacy that gave us some of the most powerful, emotional, and unforgettable moments in Black reality TV. It's the end of a chapter where love, ambition, and betrayal collided, sometimes painfully, sometimes beautifully. Carlos King built something rare, a space where vulnerability wasn't weakness, it was power. But even power has its breaking point. And maybe that's what this bad news is really about. Not cancellation, not defeat, but transformation. Because if we've learned anything from watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, it's that growth hurts. It breaks you before it rebuilds you. And Carlos might just be making space for something even greater, something that honors the pain but doesn't get trapped in it. Still, the question remains, is this really goodbye? Or is it just the storm before a brand new sunrise? Only time and Carlos King will tell. Until then, one thing's for sure, Love and Marriage Huntsville will never be the same again. And maybe that's exactly how it's supposed to be.